without trying to be clever and play with words, have you noticed that in the text there is no reference to the balcony? It's just something that has gradually become a part of theatre tradition. There is no balcony referred to. Maybe that is why this is called the gallery. The gallery goes back certainly to Victorian theatre, and they were called the lower and upper galleries. We understand in Shakespeare's time, so we have stalls, circle, and gallery. That's as high as we can go, and that is where we're going to go now. Okay? When you're coming down, just watch the steps, and we're just going to go straight up there, and I'm going to sit you as far away as you can go from the stage. There's a reason for that.
Sorry.
It's okay.
You still filming?
Yeah, I am.
Great, so my voice is on there and everything.
Oh gosh, bad going overboard. We're heading up to the gallery. And by the way, he was just talking about Romeo and Juliet with the balcony. Okay. Sound panels. Yeah, good idea. Get it. It's playing tonight, but we can't see it. I wish we could see it too. So I've never really seen a good production of Romeo and Juliet. Wow. Look how high we are.
There should be enough room for all of you. Okay, well, you're as far away from the stage as you can be. I don't know how many of you would like to sit up here for a performance.
I would, actually.
Has anyone ever done it?
Yeah.
They are quite popular, even if, in fact, it's a case of, well, there's nothing else. During the run of the histories, there were 8 plays, and every member of the ensemble had one show off. But they were such a sort of tight group, as it were, as we, know our next one going to be. But very often they'd come on a night off to see their friends performing. And we had an actor who was here in the 60s, Ian Richardson, who died a few years ago. His son Miles was in the Histories Ensemble, and he said for his money, these were the best seats in the theatre. It's a case of, you pay your money, you take your choice. As tour guides, we tried to see a production several times, and indeed from all aspects of the theatre. If, for example, you've got a battle sequence, then certainly you're looking down, and I'm not saying you would miss anything. You get a totally different view. Did anyone see our recent production of The Merchant of Venice? There were 2 incredible dance sequences, beginning at the end. Again, watching from here, you saw them from an entirely different angle. And of course, if there are no seats, you stand. But you can't stand there. So in fact, I'll just excuse myself for a moment. You stand here. I did it recently for The Merchant. I was actually here, looking right down. And I'd seen the production twice already. Even more enjoyable seeing it from there. If you went to the old theatre, did anyone ever sit in the, what was called the balcony in the old theatre? If you were at the back of the balcony there, you were 27 metres from the stage, quite a way. When the theatre was actually opened, we had an actor in this country called Balliol Holloway. And he said when he first walked onto that old stage and he looked right up to the balcony and he thought he was on the White Cliffs of Dover looking over to France. You know. It was very popular again for those who didn't have a lot of money for tickets. And I don't know if you have them so much now, but what we call opera glasses. You could actually put in a coin and you could actually borrow special glasses and you could actually put them through your eyes and you could sort of more or less make out someone's face. There was an atmosphere there, but there's a difference, is there not? 27 meters in the old theatre, 15 meters here. You are so much closer. And not just to the stage, there's a bridge that was used to tremendous effect in the histories. You imagine a king and his army on the stage, whatever the play is, and the director wants to suggest that they're trapped. They bring down that bridge with another king and about 8 soldiers, and the way is blocked. Not just that. During the histories, there were ladders all over the theatre, and you could literally find yourself at the end of a row, and the next second there'll be an actor literally clambering down or clambering up. In the Parliament scene, the actors were all over the theatre, so when they started shouting, you thought that they were involving you as well. Rope works become very, very important. In the histories, there was one production, there was a bungee jump. How do you do it? One rope, one actor. They all have to be very fit. In Henry V, there's a line, the lofty French, and they were lofty. The French court were all lowered on trapezes above the heads of the court. We have similar effects in Midsummer Night's Dream, real Peter Pan effects with Bottom and Titania flying up at the end, also Oberon and Titania flying off, and of course, did anyone see Hamlet here? Again, we had special, you saw the Hamlet?
Yeah.
No, did they have a flying effect in the play scene? Yeah. Again, where an actor is lowered down, and again, you had effects with Fortinbras soldiers. So again, you're not just using this space, you're using everything. We've got an actor coming back here in March. He's been with the company off and on since the 80s. His name is Geoffrey Freshwater. He's a wonderful character actor. If any of you have seen the program Foyle's War, perhaps if you haven't, it's actually set in Britain during the Second World War. Foyle is a detective, and in earlier series, Geoffrey Freshwater played the police sergeant. Well, he was here in the histories, and amongst the parts he played was the villainous Cardinal Beaufort. If you know the play, he dies and goes to hell. So in this production, hell was up there, because there was a, you have to imagine that, as he's being sort of, taken down to hell, he has a terrible nightmare, and his arch enemy, whose murder he's connived at, actually hangs him. So what happened was, Geoffrey had a harness fixed around him, and he was literally hauled, kicking and screaming, from there all the way up there. And I had the pleasure of interviewing him, and I asked him, without being sort of too naive, well, how did he feel each time? He said, well, when I get to the circle, I think, one more stop. But he would actually then be brought up, and again, all the stage staff, they have harnesses as well to help people on or off as the case may be. Above us,